Well, two suspect lines. Return line, I used part of that. I actually misjudged it because I had these little pieces too, and I ended up cutting it too short, so I put more rubber, you know, where I connected them between the two, the old line and the new line. And let's see, I don't know, I lowered the car already, but that's the main line. A little bit of rubber. The rubber I ended up, like I said, I misjudged. I don't know if I can see all this. Oh, that's got to be diesel because I bled the filter. I don't know. See all this? Yeah, that leak was diesel fuel because it's very hard to start a diesel once you got air in it. I bled it right there at the filter, and so far so good. I had a bunch of garbage on me. Running all right, and you can see it's the new rubber lines. I kind of made that up, like I said, I made that the return line a little too long on this end and too short on the other end. And I made a little S going up here, but you can see the proper way to do lines. The return line doesn't matter much. There's really almost no pressure on it. You see on both ends, you can probably saw it on the video down on the bottom too. There's a union, and then the line screws into the union, and then a nipple that's made to screw into the union that attaches to the rubber fuel line. You know, it kind of, I don't want to say this, but it kind of looks like a head of a dick that you stick the rubber line on, so you put the hose clamp on, and it holds it tight. Otherwise, you end up having a scenario that it just kind of slid on, and you could tighten down the clamps all you want. You might compress the metal line, particularly this line. This is the easy line to bend, but it never rusts away. So I'm happy I got something fucking done. It was snowing, it was cloudy. Right now it's cloudy again. It looks like it's sunny on here, but it's not. It's kind of in between. The sun's just trying to get over the clouds. But man, I can't get a good day to get anything done. But I feel good that this is another neighbor next door. She was looking at it leaking, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get to it. You know, she thinks that if it leaks on concrete, it's gonna get into the ground. And I'm like, oh my god, yeah. But oh well, you know, what are you gonna do? So that's it. It's running, and I got a new air cleaner because this is when I put the heads on. I had to put heads on from an older vehicle, and it required a cast iron manifold instead of the original aluminum, and it was a different setup here with the one stud. This is a two stud. You know, two stud, but I drilled a hole to use it. But I got an original one from an earlier time that should work with it. So I'm going to take it out. I never took it out of the UPS box, so I'm going to do that now and finish this off. New master with the power steering lines I did a couple of weeks ago, along with the two brake lines in the back that rotted out. So I think she'll be ready to go. It almost sounds like it runs better. I gather whether or not your return line is leaking or your regular line is leaking, it probably not going to sound as good. But this car sounded good after I did the heads. You know, I don't know. I guess this is blow by. There's always a little blow by with diesel. So this guy, the guy who sold me this, he made it homemade because it uses this guy, and when the newer ones use this guy. So it's supposed to pull the oil back into the, you know, it's supposed to suck the oil out of the PVC system. You know, it works. But what do you want from a gas engine converted to a diesel, essentially? But Oldsmobile was always the experimental production of GM, and I love it. Man, that thing runs good, and it gets over 20 miles to the gallon. So that's why I like my cars. I want to keep it. Next big project for this car, I really need to do the springs and shocks. To me, it's like sitting on the ground. Little tiny tires, you know, what are you going to do? But I got to get that done too.